viewers to the Morning Baraka show, and today we are going to discuss, we're going to have a talk about nutrition and fitness, and so we're going to have Brother Bilal here, who's going to make a smoothie later, and also we're going to talk about weight loss.
Indeed.
And also just having a,
a general healthy approach to nutrition. Obviously we indulge at times, but I'm looking forward to this, blueberry smoothie. Although you can use different types of berries. So let me start it off anyway. Let's get into it, because this is a really energy boosting food.
Right, and I need that right now. So
we've got and
our camera crew apparently really eager. So
I've heard a whisper. I've heard a whisper. So we have this plain Greek yogurt, unsweetened. You can use full fat. You can use low fat. It doesn't really make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference.
No. And fats, there are healthy fats and unhealthy fats, but yogurt is one of the healthy fats. We need a certain amount of fat in our diet.
So how much would you say per day that people, should we have something every day?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be yogurt, but the general World Health Organization talk about things like 30 to 40% fats per day in your meals. Should be made of
healthy fats.
Healthy fats.
So not donuts.
So see, pizza and things of that nature, they don't really kind of qualify.
Okay.
We're talking about the fats that are in fish, in dairy.
Okay.
And meat products as well.
So what about these? So you're just loading in. How much are you putting in?
I'm putting in. It's not a secret recipe. I mean, there's going to be information on our Facebook page, the exact details. But so I'll say I'm putting a bit of yogurt.
Yeah.
And then.
Okay.
We're going to move towards our
secret ingredient.
It's all secret. I think I'll go for the berries.
Okay. What are you going to put in then? Which berries?
Some blueberries. It's all healthy. Fruits are good for you. When fruits are what do you call it? When they're processed, they do the process makes more sugar if they say, for example, blended. So you have to be aware of that if you're somebody that's watching your sugars or.
So at the moment,
careful.
Smoothies seem to be quite.
What the rage they're in right now?
Yeah, they're in, aren't they? So is it something that we should all be buying one of these blenders and having?
It wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea because there's ones you can spinach. They don't have to be even fruit. There's smoothies that are like almost like meals, if I can put it that way.
So even shops aren't there open as you can go down the
smoothie bars and stuff like that.
Very interesting. Okay, what's that in your hand then?
So we got the chia seeds. But these are unground, but you can get them really ground down. But we're going to use it unground.
They look very interesting. All right.
As you can see, so we drop a just.
So am I the guinea pig here who's going to try this?
Well, yourself, myself, the camera crew.
Okay, brilliant.
All on sundry.
Actually, my mouth is watering, which is really bad because you've hardly put anything in there.
That's good. Salivating.
All right. So what's next?
We got the vanilla. So you have some, this
vanilla extract. Is that?
Extract, okay. Indeed.
So in that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
make sure we get as much of that as possible.
In terms of you're making quite a healthy recipe there, aren't you? So is it something that's recommended, from Ahadith, Quran, religion? What is it, or is it just something that's scientifically something that we all should be gearing towards?
Well, we got it on both levels, right? We got both levels. So we got the sayings of the Imam, the Prophet and the Imam, peace and blessing be upon them, about not overeating and things of that nature, and be careful of the type of food you eat. Muslims, we tend to like to make sure we eat halal, but the food isn't always tayyib, isn't always pure. So these are like more pure foods, right? Less additives and stuff of that nature.
And better to make it yourself, isn't it?
Fresh, fresh is always good. What else do we need?
So
we need some.
You've got other berries there.
You want to make it really exciting, right?
I think you should.
Okay.
Our first recipe.
Let's go for some raspberries then. A few raspberries wouldn't go amiss. And they wouldn't go amiss. And again, fresh. I know they sell these frozen, but I like fresh. I like fresh. You don't lose too much nutritional value with frozen, but I mean, you can't beat fresh, right?
That looks
You can't beat fresh. Oh, this is getting nice and colourful.
Okay. So
we're gonna get our lid on. Here it goes. Wish me well.
Oh, I think you need to. Do you not need any liquid in that? Is there nothing else?
Ideally I would have used ice.
Yeah.
Ice water does the trick.
Okay.
I'd drop a bit of ice water in there.
Because that would help to, I suppose.
Loosen it up.
Okay.
as I said, the exact amount is on the.
Okay.
So this is how it's looking.
So how will this help sort of like weight loss? I mean, that's got all the natural ingredients, but in terms of what the benefits of the berries and
so they carry they carry fruit in particular. So you got your yogurts, your healthy fats, your calcium, your proteins. Then you got your healthy sugars, and vitamins and minerals in your blueberries, raspberries, and the flavoring with the chia, and the flavoring with the vanilla.
Okay. Right. Blast
All
off.
right, so we're gonna take blast off now. We're gonna blitz.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
It's
go for it.
pretty animated, this machine. Oh,
It's quite okay. So,
you can actually just take the machine off.
yeah.
Give it a quick shake as well.
So the consistency, is that sort of like a milkshake, but thinner than a
Exactly. But more nutritious than milkshakes made by certain chain stores that we won't mention. But you get my drift.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, look at that. That is looking awesome now. Let's go again now.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be much for the camera crew left back, after we sample.
Oh, no, we should be nice.
Yeah. They're good guys.
Sharing
They're good
is
guys.
caring.
They're good guys. I didn't say there wouldn't be none. I just said not much left back.
So while you're doing that, I don't know if the viewers can actually hear me, but Imam Sajjad, I know that there's rights of the stomach, and he talks about, you know, we were mentioning about the halal and eating halal, and also not to overeat. So when it comes to sort of like keeping in moderation.
So there's portions. There's something to do with portions in terms of that treatise. What was that? Refresh my memory.
So it's basically that you have a third of food, a third of drink, and keep a third of your stomach for air. So, and I think it's the moderation, isn't it? So you eat, you're not overeating. And I think, so the overeating can have effects of you being sluggish, eating heavy meals. So I'm just assuming that, you know, when you look at, you know, nature's creation, you always feel this kind of freshness, don't you? And this energy, and I suppose it's the right energy, rather than if we eat too many, you know, too much meat or too much of something, which is perhaps not so healthy. The sugars, the you know, the sort of like manufactured sugars,
processed sugars.
Yeah, processed sugars. So in those terms, that'd probably make us quite sluggish. I'd imagine, if you could imagine having a cup of tea with like loads of cakes, and you'd feel that lack of energy, although the boost initially.
The rush and the rush and the crash with the sugars, but also I'm thinking about, you know, scientifically now they talk about, for not just recently but for a number of years, that many numerous small meals would be more beneficial than, you know, the big, as you said, the big meal that would make you sluggish.
Right.
The small meals keeps your metabolism ticking over. So you find that people in the sports industry, in terms of sports performance, even bodybuilding, where the whole thing is to look, this is the aesthetic of your body, they eat many small meals throughout the day, every few hours, but they're very small.
Is that good for sort of people who don't exercise as much, or to eat the smaller portions of meals through the day?
Yeah, in general,
so not just, you know,
not just for sports people. You know, sometimes that you have a meal and they say, oh, if it's a large, somebody might have shared you food, like eat half of it and leave it to eat the rest in an hour or something like that, as opposed to just, you know, I'm going to finish it all because that's what's being shared.
Yeah.
But portion size is it's a whole thing. It's a whole, you know, a knowledge base in itself. I can't wait for this.
Is that done now?
No. It's always a little bit.
Oh, it's
Got to get the consistency just right. It's got to be.
Oh my goodness.
You know.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's getting smoother. All right, that looks really good.
Smoother, smoothie.
Lovely.
Yep. All right, so let's go.
So I'm going to lose pounds drinking this, supposedly.
I did have a fear. I had a fear that I would, you know, I had this nightmare that it would.
No, I'm sure it won't. I'm sure you're a pro, Brother Bilal. So how is this sort of something that, so if I had, you talk about spinach smoothies and all that, so is it good to have sort of one thing a day? This is more of a, you know, natural fruit one. So would you say have a vegetable smoothie, and like nutritionally with this would be only be providing some nutrients, I imagine?
Yeah, only some. You couldn't have this for the whole day. Like say, I'm going to make a large amount of this and sip it throughout the whole. That wouldn't be ideal. Plus, they're better off. You're better off having them fresh. You know, you don't want them to sit around too much.
It's quite thick now, isn't it? Is that right?
It's a nice consistency.
Okay. looks really delicious, actually. I'm sure it will taste
all fresh,
amazing.
All fresh, wholesome ingredients, I got to add.
So if someone's looking to, lose weight, what would you say, best time to have this kind of smoothie in the day?
Well, the technical term is manage their weight.
Okay, manage their weight. How would they manage their weight?
Yeah, but you were saying seriously that when is it best to have these? You can have it in the early portion of the day, but I mean, probably sugars late at night aren't best, and dairy products and things of that nature just aren't ideal. So the earlier portion of the day would
sort of like a
best.
Breakfast smoothie?
Yeah, that would be best. That would be better. So I shall one for
thank
you.
you so much. Right, so
And one for me.
this is breakfast time, so
It's not because you're the sacrificial lamb, but it's only polite, ladies, before gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Bismillah.
I'm a bit nervous.
You're not nervous now. No pressure. No pressure. Does it look bad if I don't try it too?
It's really good. Well done, mashallah. It's not sweet, and it's just the right sort of.
I love yogurt. I love yogurt.
But it doesn't overpower it, does it?
No.
So I think everyone should definitely make this. I think it's a good recipe. It's quite refreshing. I think in the morning I could imagine having that sort of when haven't got time for breakfast or something.
I mean, we use water, but if you use ice, for example, that when it's the weather is super hot. Imagine a hot morning, some ice.
So have it
really refreshing as well. Picks you up.
That's really good. Okay, so anything else so what else could people add in that sort of other berries?
So you can use different berries. You could use, we have strawberries, different fruit. But blueberries, as I said, they have their own antioxidants. And this, help the immune system, things like that. So blueberries, berries are pretty strong on that as well.
And then in terms of sort of, so if you manage your weight with your food intake, how about exercise? And how would that supplement somebody? So how much should they do as a minimum per day? So they're trying to sort of like improve on their food intake. What would you say about the exercise?
Half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour a day, throughout the 5, let's say the working week is good. It's good. It's a good average.
To do what?
And that doesn't necessarily mean hitting the weights gym. It doesn't mean, being on a cardio machine or anything of that nature. It means even, all right, if I'm going on my commute and I use public transport, maybe I'll get off the bus or whatever, 2 extra bus stops on my way there, on my way back, and it's just a little power walk. These little things, I'll take the stairs.
Or even mothers at home, or if you've got you're babysitting your grandkids and you're in the week, you could always take them to school walking, couldn't you?
Exactly, take them to school walking.
So just a bit of exercise.
You sometimes see the mothers, pushing their prams and doing exercises in the park. It's movement. Exercise is movement, so it doesn't have to be a regime put together by a personal trainer, or you don't have to attend classes. Those are good for people who are in the groove or have taken the plunge, but maybe you've been inactive for a long time, and it can be intimidating to say, you got to join up to a gym or you got to get a personal trainer at the expense. So just start by walking, just start by a movement, a power, walk, go in the garden, do some gardening, pulling up the weeds, movement. Just you just get out your seat.
Okay.
So what you eat, rest. So it's exercise, nutrition, and getting good rest.
And that's good for the body.
That's a good combo,
the soul, which we haven't really discussed, but inshallah. Another day, another smoothie. That's all we have time for this morning.
Wow,
but I would definitely recommend this recipe. So next up, we've got the morning politics section, and